What's going on, everybody? It's No Excuse Charlie here from the Bent Barbell Project. Just got done with a hamstring and calf workout, which is pretty good. Starting to get a little bit of energy back. For those of you who have been following me, I've been sick lately. The past week, I actually went a week without any solid food, so it was rough to say the least. But we got through it, so we're doing okay right now. Energy levels are exponentially greater, so I'm feeling all right. Currently 6.5 weeks out. Well, almost 6 now. 6.5 weeks out from the MPC Collegiate Nationals. So make sure you tune in July 20th in Pittsburgh, Station Square. See if I can take home a class title. Regardless, I'm coming to you guys today. I wanted to go out of my way a little bit to give you a little brief but very, very important tip on hypertrophy and how to build the most amount of muscle in the shortest amount of time, because that's what we're all looking to do. We're all trying to shorten that adaptive curve where we can gain the most amount, be it muscle, money, regardless, anything in life. We want to gain the most amount that we can of a particular principle in the shortest amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one very, very, very helpful tip on how to do this. We'll start with a story. Early last year, I was perusing YouTube videos, which I do on occasion, and I came across a video of Ben Pakulski, who is, for those of you, most of you will know, he's top 10 bodybuilder in the world, just recently placed second at the Arnold Classic. And in this video, he was giving a very brief tip during incline dumbbell presses. He was talking about the principle and the premise behind internally rotating your arms when it comes to doing the incline dumbbell press, and how it puts maximal shortening on the chest. And maximal shortening is synonymous with maximal contraction, which means greater muscle gain. So that's what we're looking for. And the way he described it, it was so well thought out, and it seemed so simple, but it was, you know, it was a product, a manifestation of his schooling, his education, you know, his degrees in kinesiology. So I thought, you know, this guy might be onto something. Little things like that make a huge difference. So I started doing that in my routine and noticed, you know, great gains in my upper chest, which has always been a weak point for me. So having seen that, I was like, you know what, this guy seems like a pretty cool dude. Maybe I should follow more of his stuff. So what I did was, shortly thereafter, I purchased his workout program. It's called MI40. And it's much more than just a training protocol. It's not like it's gonna just give you X amount of sets, X amount of reps. This is what you're gonna do. Follow through with it and let me know how your gains are. What it is it's actually a huge, just an astronomical amount of information compiled into a single database. And it follows nutrition, supplementation, essentially any question you could possibly have regarding muscle building, it's in there. And I wanted to share to you guys the top 5 things that I learned from this program. Because anybody looking at physique enhancement, whether you want to step on stage as an IFBB pro, or you just want to get in better shape and have a physique that's more appealing, everybody can benefit from this program. The principles are all the same, and they're all optimal. That's the key word right there, is the premise behind optimization is what we're looking at. Everything you do in life needs to be optimal in order to get to where you want to be. We could look at X bodybuilder and Y bodybuilder. X bodybuilder trains completely different from Y bodybuilder, and they both exhibit results. So both are yielding some sort of gains. And you can say, oh, well, it doesn't really matter because both work. Well, one may work, but it's inevitable that there is one way that will get you there in the shortest amount of time in the most efficient route possible. And that's what we look to when we try to find training programs that are optimal. We try to have diets that are optimal. For example, intermittent fasting. Does it work? Yeah, it can work. Is it optimal? No, it's not. Studies have proven that. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of ruckus and hellraisers for that one, but that's for another day and time. Regardless, like I said, I want to talk to you about the 5 things that this program taught me that you can all benefit from. The first is the theory of intentions. Intentions is basically, as the name implies, it's what you intend to do through a particular movement. Say, for example, I'm doing bench press. I could do bench press with the exact form that you're doing it, but it could be completely different as far as what muscle fibers are firing. When you give it the visible test, I'm doing the exact same thing that you do. It looks the exact same. There's no difference. You say, oh, they're doing the same thing. Except I could be using a lighter weight and struggling with it, and you could be using a heavier weight and it seems easier. And they say, oh, that guy's a little bit bigger. How come he's struggling with that light weight? Well, it's all about where your intention is. For example, I'm going to give you a quick tip right now. And this is one of the things I learned through the program. When next time you're doing any type of barbell press for the chest, say we're doing incline barbell press, that's a good place to start. Whenever you have your grip, you want your intentions to be inward towards the thumbs, especially on the negative portion of the rep. So by doing that, the main focus of the main function of the pectoral is to bring the humerus bone across the body. So for maximal contraction, bring the humerus across. When you're benching, in order to get that maximal tension, force inward with your hands. So if throughout the entire range of motion, when you're doing a bench press on that incline, keep your thumbs, or keep tension in towards your thumbs. So you're coming in like this, almost as if you want to squeeze the bar together. Obviously impossible, but that's what you're aiming for. So keep that tension forcing inward the entire time. And I'm not saying inward is the only thing that you can do. You can also do outward intentions. You can do it with your feet. You can do it with a plethora of different body parts. So that's the main thing, is intentions. Intentions are a key to success. So that's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned was the importance of tempo. I'm one of those people where generally when I train, I do everything in a slow, controlled movement. That's always worked best for me. I focus a lot on the negative portions of the motions. I try to get a full range of motion. You know, all movements are done slow and controlled, except I never really put any thought into how slow or how controlled. You know, it was more anecdotal and how I felt. If I felt like I should speed the reps up, I sped them up. If I felt like I should go slower and get a better squeeze, I went slower. There was no research backing whatever I was doing. It was just, you know, whatever I felt like. So in MI40, we learned that there's several different tempos you can utilize, and there's one that stands above the rest as far as research showing how effective it can be. And it has to deal with the load that's applied to a particular muscle and how long that time under tension is exerted. So that's the second thing, is tempo is very, very, very important. And it actually took me a while to get the exact tempo down for most of the movement patterns, but then since then, after I finished the MI40 program and went on to doing my own thing for a little while, I actually incorporated that same tempo because it was just ingrained in my head, so I didn't even think about it. I just could keep the same tempo. The third thing I learned was the importance of rest periods in between sets. We all know that rest at night, throughout the day, taking deload weeks. Rest is a very, very important part of a bodybuilder's arsenal, regardless of when it occurs. Like I said, it could be at night, it could be large scale, like maybe taking a month off of training for a particular reason, but regardless, rest is important. And this is intra-workout rest. There's been scientific studies that show maximal hypertrophy, which is muscle building, occurs in between a certain amount of rest periods. Therefore, your sets should be spaced out in a particular range that allows for optimal muscle gains. MI40 program discusses that, it talks about them, it allows you to do that, and it gives you pumps, which I've never thought possible. Just insane, absolutely insane with the shorter rest periods. But I won't get into too much detail about that. The fourth thing that really benefited me from the program is the fact that it allowed me to switch up my leg training, and I went to individual workouts with hamstrings and quads. Hamstrings were paired with back, so they were the primary focus that day. I would do them first, and I had my quads on a separate day. That's what the MI40 program calls for. And it seems, obviously it's logical, but it seems like something that you'd think everyone would, everyone would know. You say, oh, if you want to get better legs, just split them up onto 2 days. That's what people do with arms. And that's really, it seems self-explanatory, but you have to excuse my cat running around. It seems self-explanatory, but it's one of those things where I never really thought about how great my progress would be had I done that. So having switching up my leg routine, my quads have gotten unfathomably better, just night and day. Hamstrings are still a weak point, but they're gradually coming up. So it allowed me to have some flexibility in my split. You know, I wasn't necessarily saying legs, training on one day, quads, hamstrings, calves, this is what we do. Now it gave me some flexibility so I could change it up a little bit. And like I said, I reaped the benefits of that. The fifth thing is that small details make a big difference. And this is probably the most important. And this is the entire thesis behind the Mass Intentions 40 program and everything that Ben tries to teach. Everybody knows good nutrition. That's obviously a generalization, but most people know what it takes to have a good nutrition plan. Most people understand what it takes to have a good training program. Most people understand what it takes to have an effective supplement protocol. There's only a few minute changes that need to be made in order to make someone experience gains that are much greater and much larger than the changes implemented. Meaning a small change can equal a big result. And what Ben does in this program is he seeks out to find those small, minute changes that you can implement today on a regular basis here on out, and from hereafter have, you know, just amazing, phenomenal muscle building results. Whether it's something minor with nutrition and nutrient timing, or if maybe it's something different than that in relation to it kind of relates to intention, like we spoke about briefly before. If you change the foot pattern, say you're doing hamstring curls, and you put your feet in dorsiflexion, which is bringing your toes up towards your shins, fully takes out the gastrocnemius out of the movement, which is your calves, therefore it puts more isolation on your hamstrings. Little minute changes like that can make the world of difference. And like I said, I'm living proof that the program works, and I mean, my gains have been phenomenal. You know, a lot of people have been following my journey through the Bent Barbell Project. You can follow my Twitter at NoExcuseCharlie. And like I said, the project is, my progress has been tracked by the project, and I mean, I've gotten such great feedback from everyone. And I really tell them, I said, it's a testament to the program that I've been doing, along with my nutrition coach, and along with just good old-fashioned work ethic, you know? I mean, anybody can work hard, but unless you're working hard optimally and putting your efforts into the right things and doing the right amount of effort, then, you know, it could be essentially worthless. You know, I mean, you could, if I'm trying to build a large chest and I'm doing everything optimally with intentions, and my split is conducive to getting a big chest and bringing my chest up, and I'm doing the correct frequency, correct volume, or you have somebody else who just benches every single day and just hammers it out, they may be working just as hard as I am, but their gains are going to be lower because it's not optimal, you know. So that's the main thesis, like I said, is looking for things that are optimal. So what I need you guys to do is, if you're interested in this, go to Ben's website, www.benpakulski.com. I believe it's actually /MI40. benpakulski.com/MI40. Regardless, if you go to the homepage, you'll find this this program, and I tell you, it's money well spent. Easily the best money I've ever spent. You're going to get hours and hours and hours of reading and watching to do with his videos. So I caution you, don't purchase this project if A, you're not serious, or B, you don't have a lot of free time, because I mean, it is just absolutely captivating the amount of knowledge you're going to learn. And it takes a lot of time to go over these things. So you're going to have to just rewatch it over and over again. You know, I follow the program every day and revisit the database, and I'm still learning. So, but yeah, that's just all I wanted to say, you know, give you guys an opportunity. I mean, tons of my Twitter followers have purchased the program and given me messages almost on a daily, at the very least weekly basis, saying how much they love the program and thank you so much for the recommendation. I said, don't thank me, thank Ben. You know, I'm just the, I'm not a prophet by any means. I'm just the experiment. So Hope everyone has a good weekend, and make sure you check that out and let me know your thoughts. Like I said, happy to hear from you, and I will be very excited about your progress. So take care, everybody. Train hard, and we'll talk to you later.